Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video for Eve Echoes. Now, today's video is a little bit of sort of a short notice emergency PSA, I suppose you could say. Basically, I had a whole load of stuff I was planning to do today, and then I got an alert, both in-game and on the official Eve Echoes Twitter account, that this new crazy thing called Void Space had opened up, and I suddenly realised I was going to need a video to answer what on earth this was, about the time that I had 38 different messages on Discord, all asking, hey Captain Benzie, what is this Void Space thing? Well, the first thing to say about Void Space is that you will find us mainly down here in CJ6MT, and that's where you'll find Void for the most part out in Innsmouth. You can see it here on the map. However, I don't think they're actually talking about Void Sovereign Space. That's just a beautiful, beautiful coincidence. So what we're going to do in today's video then is look at what Void Space actually is, talk about how you can do it, and then from there we will theorise where this is going from here, because this appears to just be the start of something special. As such, if you enjoy this video and find it useful, as usual, hit like, subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell, select all notifications, come join me on Patreon, and of course check out our merchandise store on Redbubble as well. All that said and done though, let's jump straight in to talking about what on earth this Void Space thing actually is. So I've personally been out and about a lot of today, and I really haven't had chance to sit down and get to grips with this personally, so a huge thank you and shout out to folks like Expect, Rahman, Otto Mechanic and several others whose names I will link in the description down below, as a thank you for giving me a heads up on what you were discovering about this. Like when Void went through its whole thing with intumescent belts and rocket science, it's great to see people coming together to try and figure out what the hell is actually going on with the new system. Now, the first thing I noticed was when I logged in this morning on any of my characters to collect my daily login rewards, I got this sort of interaction with the Concord group that you do the beginner's tutorial with, and they sort of contact you and say, hey, long time no speak, by the way, this new thing called Void Space has appeared, you're going to need a wide resonance scanner and a relic analyzer, get out there, scan it down, and see what you can find, bring the stuff to Concord, let us know what's going on. And I was like, okay, is this just the new tutorial for how scanning works? Because the developers have said they would like to put a scanning tutorial in. Then I got a notification that a new message had gone up on the Eve Echoes official Twitter account, and this is what I saw here. There have been strange signals that point to a new type of space. Those who survived reported seeing a large host of empty ships. The Four Empires call upon you to visit voice spaces, this was later corrected to void spaces, to collect recs to help Concord conduct further analysis. Event time, 23rd of September to 29th of September. And there's a really cool little picture here at the bottom that shows a typhoon, a tornado, a tempest, a raven, mainly Minmatar ships there, which kind of speaks to me, scanning into Caldari and Galente space, which is unusual because those are backwards. It looks like they've flipped things around here, or maybe, no, we're coming in from the Galactic North, I suppose. That's coming in from like Venal and Tenal kind of area. I don't know. Anyway, it's a cool little image. The point I want to make note of here is this thing here called Void Spaces, not Voice Space, hence the joke we had earlier about Void Alliance Sovereign Space, and the fact that the event itself is starting on the 23rd, today, and will continue through to the 29th, that is 1 week. So this is not a permanent new fixture, which is interesting because it really feels like a permanent new fixture when you actually sort of, you know, go around and sample this. Basically, if you've been looking at your usual encounters today, your storyline encounters and things like that, your missions, your news missions, you will find these transport missions. Collect intact wrecks, collect disintegrated wrecks, etc. And you can see that these have some pretty beefy rewards. Here for collect disintegrated wrecks, it's 1.5 million ISK for delivering 3 units of disintegrated wreck to a particular station. It gives you no further information than this, other than never before seen wrecks are hidden in void space, use space detection modules to find and analyse them, or look to the market for chances to purchase them, then submit the recs to Concord for further research. And it's the same on collect intact recs, despite the fact that intact recs has 6 million ISK as its reward bounty there. So there, I think, are multiples of these. I think, like with any relic or data site, you're going to be scanning down these sites. From what I can gather, you scan down these sites, and I think I've actually got a screenshot of this. Yep, here we are. You scan down these sites, and when you come into them, you will find these different relic constructs. It looks like prototype, collapsed, distant, and there'll probably be a 4th type that I've not had full information on yet. And I imagine those will correspond to different difficulties as well. If you're not sure what I'm talking about when I talk about things like relic sites and difficulties, do watch my video on relic sites and scanning and how that all works. This appears to very much be sort of a way to get people into this and trying it out. And these seem to be all over the place. I'm getting reports that people are generally finding these pretty much all over New Eden. HighSec, LowSec, and NullSec all have reports that these are there. So you scan them down with a wide resonance scanner, you jump in, you lock onto these boxes, and you open them with a relic analyzer. Not a data analyzer right now, it is a relic analyzer. Now inside those, you then get loot like a damaged wreck, a intact wreck, or a disintegrated wreck. And again, I'm pretty sure there's probably a fourth type out there as well. I don't know, maybe it's an emotional wreck or something. We just haven't seen what that fourth one actually is yet. I know I'm an emotional wreck from time to time, especially where scanning's involved. Wreck found in void space with major parts of its structure missing, but a moderate amount of information can still be retrieved. It appears to hold ship technology that is considered vital by all nations. A structure of which seems to be intact, crushed and deformed by the dimensions. Only a fraction of the information can be retrieved. Basically, these appear to be... Sorry, that's just a lovely picture of the probe covert ops that I was going to use if I did this kind of like I do on the other ones, but I decided to do an in-game intro instead. Anyway, the basic premise I'm getting at here is it seems that explorers are going to go out and find these sites and then either hand them in themselves for the rewards directly, or if they don't find those rewards or don't want them, they can sell them on the market to their friends who can then use them to complete these missions. This appears to be the start of an event. As I said, this appears to only be on for a week at the moment there, event time 9:23 to 9:29. I am quietly hoping this could be the Yunjung. We've seen stuff here that this is all about finding new ships and new debris and all this kind of stuff. The Yunjung, we know, are a race in the EVE lore. They do exist in the EVE Online lore as well. They were the first people through the old wormhole from the old galaxy to New Eden. Before the Eve Gate collapsed. After the Eve Gate collapsed, the Yunjung pretty much have kept to themselves, and no one knows if they're even still around anymore. Well, Eve Echoes came along and said, yeah, we're going to add these guys back into the game as a new faction with new ships. Obviously, we got the prototype Shan Yue and the prototype Kan Yue, or however the heck you pronounce those. Again, my Mandarin is not very good, very sorry. But essentially, since those were added, it was this big deal that the Yunjung were returning. We actually had a set of events on Twitter that were clues, including like playing a sound effect backwards to get ideas. There was like a jigsaw piece to put together and all this kind of stuff that pointed to the Yunjung being this exciting new thing added to EVE Echoes. Well, we're a year into the game and we still have no sodding clue when the actual ships are coming through. And I've done videos on the Shan Yue and the Kan Yue, the non-prototype version, and they are amazing ships. They're great fun. And if you've skilled into decomposers at all, it probably sucks that you've only got the prototypes to fly. So I'm quietly hopeful that this is about the Yunjung, and essentially we are collecting wrecks to hand into Concord, and this event is going to last for a week. It will then scale up to the next phase a week later, and so on and so forth, eventually culminating in maybe some really cool battles and invasions. Wouldn't that be amazing? And the actual capability of getting Yunjung ships. Now, for the time being, this is just a really cool way for scanners to actually get a bit of, like, dedicated income. If you go out and find these sites, then, as I said, you can either just complete these missions as you find them, or you can just drop the wrecks onto the market and sell them to people who can then hand them in for the missions. Now, I kind of get the feeling that these wrecks are going to go onto the market for ridiculous prices. Just as a simple point, if you are essentially trying to sell, for example here, disintegrated wrecks, you need 3 of these to get 1.5 million ISK. If you're trying to sell a disintegrated wreck really for anything more than 400,000 ISK, people aren't going to bite. That's not a great way of doing it. Same here, 6 million for 3 of the intact wrecks. Each of those intact wrecks, if you're asking for 2 million, it's too much. After taxes and stuff like that, people just aren't going to bite. Especially since these seem to be fairly straightforward to actually scan down and find. And I don't know. I am really excited about this. Now that my day is done and I can actually sit down and play some Eve Echoes for the evening, I am very excited to jump into my Estero, go scan. In fact, actually, I can take the Probe Explorer out for a spin this time because I only need the Relic Analyzer. I can go out, I can try and scan some of these sites down, and, well, we'll see how it goes. If you have information you think I've missed so far in how this entire event works, or you've got some crazy ideas about what this might all be about, what the exciting new ships and these, how does it word it? Those who survived reported seeing a large host of empty ships. If you've got any ideas about what this all could be, then please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Otherwise, folks, happy sailing. Good luck searching down void space, not voice space. Good luck searching down void space and selling those wrecks on the market or filling these missions yourself. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.